Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sims Gaming Nation. If you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to the Sims Gaming Nation family, feel free to subscribe. And if you're already a Sims Gaming Nation family member, I'm so happy you're back.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because
Okay guys, onto the build. I have this gorgeous cottage house for a small family. 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, kitchen, dining room, living room, all the works. Let's get on to the build. Right now I'm trying to set up just a little bit of the greenery around outside because I didn't want the house to take up too much of the space, so I wanted to make sure I had the greenery out of the way. I will change a little bit of around later, but we'll leave it for what it is now. Alright, getting the basic layout for the house was a little bit difficult because I was trying to make something that looked nice but wasn't too over the top. And when I got with the first basic build of it, it looks kind of weird, and I was like, this is an awkward build. So I added a little bit of an extra extending to the right side of the house. And I built the 2 towers upward, which is just accents on the house. They honestly don't go anywhere, but it gives it a nice look. Removing the floors from the little fencing area that I did I thought it was a nice touch, but I ended up building a wall in front of it as well, so it kind of stood out a little bit more. The roof gave me a big problem. As I go on to build more of it, you'll see that nothing that I did set perfectly right, but I eventually got something that I was satisfied with in the end. I wanted to give it a porch and have it high rise, but wasn't going to work out for me that way. I tried, it didn't work. I love the wall that I built to cover everything off from the main entrance of the house, but it did give me a little bit of a problem, as you saw, getting things the way I wanted. Now going inside and getting the basic layout of the house as I wanted, which was a bit difficult because I was like, I didn't know what exactly I wanted or how I wanted it, which means I had to expand the house just a little bit just to give me a little bit more room to do some more with it. The stairs was a great idea at first, but I couldn't get it to land where I wanted to. I wanted you to go up into, as you can see, up top the little, I don't even know what you call it, tower, so you can go and sit on the roof. Which was kind of weird, but once you see what I did to the roof, you'll understand why. I don't want to give you too much before you get far into the build. Alright, I got the 2 bedrooms out of the way. There is either a child's bedroom or a guest bedroom. I consider it more of a guest bedroom because it doesn't have any children's toys in it, because I wasn't thinking child when I made it. A half wall to connect the wall to the rest of the house, which I thought was really nice because it gave me room to put a couple potted plants up there. And as you see, I'm going to try to add stairs but I realized it wouldn't work the way I wanted it to, so I left it as it was. I didn't like the look of it. Yes, I did two different steps to see which one I liked best, and then I realized I didn't like either of them at all. It made it look a little awkward and give the house a little bit too much of a strange look for my taste. I was like, no, we're not doing that. So I just completely removed it, scrapped that idea, and moved on to the next one. Everything with this house is focused on more of a wood tone. So even the windows have this nice kind of wooden tone to it. I do change it up a bit and make it a little white because I don't want everything to be too white. So it's white with a little wood in it, which is nice. I'm trying to pick what I want to put around the top of the roof, which is a little difficult, but I figured it out. Adding windows, which I thought was a nice touch, even though you can't really get up there. It makes the house look bigger on the outside than it is on the inside. It's only a one-story house, so there is no upstairs, but it can be edited to have an upstairs if need be. Setting up the kitchen right now, I had to add a couple of lights in there. The lights do change, they're just there for lighting right now. And I decided to put a half wall there to separate the kitchen from the living room and, well, what is an office area, as you see. The kitchen, I went with these white and black counters to match the white and black walls, which some people will say is a little bit too much white and black, but I seem to like it. And I also gave the counter right there where you can sit. I think it's called a bay counter. I'm not sure. Please correct me if I'm saying this wrong. Where you can have your booths and sit there and eat too, instead of eating at the table. I went for a small glass table with black and white chairs. Once again, I really don't like a lot of these stools. I never really did. There are some nice ones, but they don't look like they're meant for us to be sitting there. They meant like they look to be at a dining table. So finding one that I was satisfied with was a little bit of a problem. Then I put mirrors behind the counters to reflect the rest of the house, which I thought was really a really nice touch. Lighting and adding some accents, which I actually do change some of them around after a while, but adding a little here and there. All right, on to the living room. Sorry if you guys didn't get to see the rest of the build for the kitchen, but all I did was add some windows, so I decided to cut it out. I decided to put the main part of the living room in that corner so I can have room for a desk. Because having an office area, I feel like, is very important in Sims, especially if you need to make money or you need a way to entertain yourself. I had to put in the move objects cheat because the pictures wouldn't fit there, and I was not happy with it. So yes, if you didn't know, I do use cheats to build this house, but the main cheat that I use is the move objects cheat and the money cheat, just so I can move a sim into the house, so I can get an overview. Onto the bathroom. I'm trying to pick a tile, and I went with this. I don't know. I think I'm really loving this tile right now because I've done this tile like 3 times already, and I'm sorry. So for my next build, I will use a different tile, and trying to find a window to put in there. And I realized I didn't like the little window, so I just copied that window. So there's just one window in the bathroom, which I do believe I put a curtain over it. So there you go. So you do have privacy. I kind of wanted the counters to kind of like curve around it, but it didn't work that way. And I don't know if there is like a half counter like that, but oh well. I do change it around to get everything to fit the way I want to. Not much, but just a little. I love that mirror. I've used that mirror a couple of times. Adding some accents to the counter. Not a lot, just a little. I do have to fix the towels. I did fix them later on when I realized they're not all the way in there properly. They look like they're in there, but they're not. And putting a plant on top, which is nice. And as you can see, there you go. It's not all the way in there, but I got it. The bedroom I thought was fairly easy because I have a really specific style when it comes to bedrooms. Don't make a difference what color I use. The style is pretty much the same of how I place the beds and how I decorate it. So I went with this red and white. I do like the colors to vary throughout the house because I don't think it's the same in Sims 4, but I knew in Sims 2 and I believe in Sims 3, your Sims can get sick of seeing the same color for too long. So they would dislike your the house if the entire house was the same color. So I've gotten to the habit of making every room in the house a different color. I think it looks nice. I think having variety makes the house look more homey instead of everything looking the same. The lamps bothered me so much because I couldn't find one I liked. And I believe at the end I just went with nothing because I couldn't find anything that I thought went nice with the red. But I did get a dresser that matched the nightstands. And I went to look for some things to add as accents on the nightstand to take up some space. I tried a couple of things, but a lot of things were too big and I really didn't like them. So I did end up adding a few things just to give me something else. I like the red and white carpet. Gives it a nice touch. And we're going to move on to the next room. See, the bedroom was really easy. I don't know why my bedrooms are so easily done like that. Searching for a color, I went with this. I'm going to call it a teal. Correct me if I'm wrong. Color and a single bed. You didn't have a lot of space in this room, so I couldn't add a lot. But I added enough to make it homey. I could have added more if I was really interested in this room. This room, because of the size, bored me because I knew I couldn't add too much. So I added just enough to make it seem interesting. But that's pretty much it. Now we're going to go on to adding the potted plants outside, which I thought was really nice. I like having, the plants sitting outside. Now we're going to do some decorating. And this is the reason why I wanted the stairs to lead you to the roof. Because I was going to turn that one section of the roof right there into a garden with flowers. And I want to have a table up there. Seriously, I can come and sit and just chill and probably paint from up there, which would be a great view for when you're trying to paint from reference, You get a great view of the town so you can get a good painting out of it. And I thought the flowers would be good to paint to as well. But didn't work my way, so I was like, I'm still going to make it into a garden, but it's just going to be something that you can look at. That you can't use what you can look at. And picking the roof for the house as well. And I did it over here too as well, and that's the reason why I left some of the roof there. I really do like putting the garden on the roof or on the balcony if you see my last build. I decided to make a little pond in the back, and this, it gives me a headache because there's a lot of scaling down and resizing and bringing it up, trying to get it to cover the edge of it so it looks like a pond, which can be a bit irritating. It's really worth it. After you do all the work, it's really worth it. But it can be a problem. And I believe I used Yeah, I used the fountain, not the pool. The pool was a bit of a problem because people can swim in that. And I remember I did it before for my garden restaurant build that I did. And that I did not record. I just did it for gameplay because my sim had enough money to get a restaurant and it was gorgeous. But the problem is that when people went to come eat at the restaurant, they kept diving in the pool because a portion of the restaurant was underground. A lot of the garden was up top. And I used the pool to get lighting in the little windows into the rest of the garden. So that can be a headache. So I did the pond so nobody can go into it. And I'm adding, some greenery to make it look more lively and adding more trees and stuff as I go along. Okay, here we go, the walkthrough. Those are the two Sims that I just moved in. I don't even know their names. I just randomly moved them in. I always do. And let's check this house out. There we go, the living area, which is really nice. I love it. Love the pink walls. I really do. This is the office. And there we go, the beautiful kitchen. Do you see the mirror reflection? I love that. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't like the doors, and I realize those are bad doors now when I started, going over it, but it is what it is. Bathroom, black and white, very simple and small. There's only a shower, so I don't think, having a child in this house, like a toddler, would be good because you can't give them baths. So I'm sorry, I didn't fully think that out. But like I said, the house can be expanded. Bedroom, very simple, lovely. I love the red, which is a color I don't normally use. But I decided to go a little bit outside my comfort zone, and red and white floats so gorgeously. I love it. Guest room is really small. Like I said, just a guest bedroom. It doesn't have a lot of knickknacks and things like that because of the size of it. But I do like it. It's a very simple guest room. And we're gonna go look outside. I gotta fix that potted plant. I realized when I recorded this. And let me apologize to you guys in advance that I took me so long to get this up here. There I go, the roof garden, I would like to call it. And there I go, that gorgeous pond that took me a minute to create. And I'm not lying, I was there for a little while. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll see you guys next time.